know I turn everything into a joke, but I care for something important. I waited a long time for this team up. In my world, you're well regarded. You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man. I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to shit? But you know how to save him.
What do you think I am? You got the wrong guy.
You were always the wrong guy. Till you weren't.
Hi, it's Pajama, Pajama Life, here with Pat to review Deadpool and Wolverine! Woo! So, Pat, let me know what you're thinking, your thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay, first off, for anybody watching this that has not seen the movie, I'm going to warn you there are going to be extensive spoilers in my review.
Oh, no! Let's try to minimize the spoilers.
There are no way I'm going to be able to talk about some of the coolest things without giving spoilers. So, that being said, if you don't want to know anything about it and have lived in a cave for the past couple weeks, then you probably go back to the cave, unplug the internet, and carry on. Because we're going to talk about stuff. I'm just saying. This was the best fan service movie I've ever seen in my life. I got to tell you, it hit all the spots. It hit everything. And you know what? If you're okay, for those of you who don't know, I'm recovering from a knee replacement. So I watched the entire Marvel movie thing, just kind of so bored. I didn't have anything to do. So I went through from Captain America, Iron Man 1, all the way through, even through the Marvels and stuff. I mean, I watched them all. Such good stuff. Anyway, this was definitely a ode to the 20th Century Fox versions of this stuff. There was so many nods to so many parts of it. I mean, everything. They brought in characters from the X-Men ones that you saw back in way back in first X-Men. You saw Toad, you saw Pyro. They're getting big speaking lines. You see Sabretooth. You see the big spoiler. Okay. You don't hear this.
No, don't say the big spoiler. Don't say
the big spoiler. I'm talking about this.
Don't say it. Let people discover it on their own.
Well, it was a good movie then. I mean, everything in it's a spoiler. Everything about this movie.
Well, don't do the big one.
It was such a fan service moment because it was another character that I loved. And boy, talk about a head fake, man. They throw it to you saying, hey, this is what you're going to see. And ooh, you forgot about this, didn't you? Yes, you did. And it was great. And, I got to tell you, the chemistry between Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, perfect. Such good banter. There were so many little musical throwbacks too. Speaking of which, I did, of course, buy the vinyl version of X-Men Wolverine and since Dave is not here, I gotta do show and tells. This would be usually his thing, and you'll notice that it's yellow and red X's.
Yep.
And both of them are both colored vinyl, which is really cool. Great soundtrack, by the way. But there's nods to all kinds of stuff like in the soundtrack. And I don't know, because Hugh Jackman's kind of a thing. He in Broadway stuff too, because you saw in some of the parts when they were hitting the radio and changing music, they hit the greatest. They were doing The Greatest Showman. You heard the beginning of some of the songs. It's on the soundtrack, by the way. So much good. I mean, the music was great. The actual storyline, because and it tied in a lot of stuff. It tied in all the 20th Century Fox stuff. It tied in some of the TV shows, because obviously the TVA was a big part of it, and I know Pam hates time travel, but I'm telling you what, this is, and I told you when that show came out, this is what they're going to do. This is how they reboot stuff. This is how they tie it together by using multiverses, and they're doing it because it's a great way for them to do this. All of a sudden, you can have Professor X back. You can have Magneto back. You can have all these people back No problem. And even before we even said this, look what they've done at Comic-Con. If you haven't noticed this, you ain't been paying attention. Robert Downey Jr. dead as a doornail back at the end of Avengers Endgame, and now he's going to be Doctor Doom. Yes, I'm there for that because he is an actor who can carry stuff. I'm interested to see how he plays evil. Be really interesting. I'm kind of excited about that. And Logan, of course, was dead as the doornail too. And there's a scene.
And still dead. That one's still dead. That scene,
and with the music that they chose, In Sync, Bye Bye Bye, and him doing the little.
Oh my gosh, that dance sequence. He nailed it.
It was the video. It was the video. Yeah. And he's doing all this. I'm telling you what, this was one of the better put together things, and I loved every minute of it. I almost went and saw it twice, and I don't see movies twice in theaters, but I almost went and saw this one twice. And it is that good. So, Pam, what did you think? I know you're not the Marvel super fan like I am, but God, everything in this. I mean, there's.
What did you say? I am a Marvel super fan.
Don't make me walk over to my comic book collection and show you the comic book collection I got. I've been a Marvel. But
I'm a movie fan. My collection got lost when I was a kid. So, But
what did you think?
Really okay, so I'm gonna say what I didn't like first, and then I'll say then everything else is cool. I thought the story was a little convoluted with Dr. Paradox or Mr. Paradox. That didn't really make sense. It was kind of convoluted, and I kept asking our producer, what is going on? What happened with him? What is his motivate? That part didn't make sense, but who cares? We all know what it's all about, really, is to get Deadpool and Wolverine in the same universe, and then they save the universes. That's pretty much the whole plot of the movie. But that whole thing with him, I tell you what I did love. Cassandra Nova. Oh my goodness. I love the actress. I loved her look. I loved her power. I loved her madness. I loved her story. I want more Cassandra Nova. If they could bring back, Logan, I want to see more of Cassandra Nova. I thought that she was, although it didn't really make sense that, I don't know to spoil it, but who she is doesn't make sense given her age. It didn't make sense at all. So that didn't make sense because why is she so young? That didn't make sense. But I that part I didn't like because it didn't. They usually do better with continuity kind of stuff like that.
With time, I know you hate time. This is the reason why you hate time. But the thing is, it depends on when she was pulled out of her time stream, how long the time stream has worked outside of that time stream. Yeah. You just move over the fact that she's younger than what you would think she would be.
Age though, and then it
goes to that same
maybe
point.
22, 23. Come on now. It didn't make sense.
It goes to that same point. It depends on when you get pulled. It made plenty of
sense.
But
I can be okay with it not making sense because I loved her so much as a villain. I'm like, please bring her back. She's awesome. So that's why I was kind of like, they should have just left it with her and not brought in this Dr. Paradox TVA kind of stuff because it didn't make sense. But the cameos, chef's kiss, especially the one who I'm talking about, is perfect. I've been saying it for years, and it's absolutely the right thing to do. And the little Easter egg they had with two characters was just perfection. I loved it. I whooped and hollered in the theater when I saw the superhero come in. I just was over the moon. One of them didn't make sense to me. The stabby one, that's what I'll say. That didn't make sense why this person was in this movie. It didn't make sense at all to me. The other ones made sense. That one didn't make sense. It's okay. I like the person, so it was okay. But I thought what was really beautiful was the friendship you could tell between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. It was like two brothers bantering back and forth with each other. And like a couple of my favorite lines was, okay, lady, goes when Deadpool is talking to him in the beginning. Okay, lady. I just thought that was super funny. And when Deadpool says, I mean, that's in the trailer, that I've been waiting for this meetup for years, and I'm so glad we got to be together. And I just thought that was not just in the movie, but I think it was a nod to their friendship and relationship that they've sustained all of these years. And I even went back and watched Wolverine Origins, and that was crazy to watch. That it was so bad compared to the ones now, but they all are so young. And I thought too, and this isn't a spoiler, one thing they do is go back to the original interviews with the characters in the movie. And it's so fun to see those characters, 20 years ago almost for Wolverine, and 15, I think, for Deadpool, maybe. I think almost close to 15. And it is really and you could tell the joy that they had in making this, and the director, Sean Levy, the joy he had in making the movie. It just oozed like fun and nostalgia, the soundtrack, the way that and there's an interview with Ryan Reynolds talking about how he connected with Madonna to actually use Like a Virgin, and she actually, like a prayer, and then she actually like did some like changing things up to tell him, oh, use it in this sequence, and it just popped. So I think that another thing is so much cussing, so much blood and guts and gore stuff. That was a little bit too much, I think.
Just the right amount.
No, it was just.
If you're going to rate our movie, do rate our movie. I mean, that's the thing. You know what? This has proven that perhaps they might want to think about rethinking about making radar movies and opening them, because this is the highest rated R grossing first out movie they've ever had. Because first off, it had a great character set, and it made organic sense for them to.
Well, where it makes sense, though, right? Not just everything should be rated R, because then you you'll lose something in the storyline, and I think you lose something in the creativity in the words if all you do is always resort to F-bombs and very explicit kind of stuff. I think you lose something in the literary tone of the words. But I knew going in it was Deadpool, and Wolverine, so it was gonna be some F-bomb. I just wasn't expecting every third word to be an F-bomb or something like gross. But I think one character that I also really love is Peter Poole. I thought it was so cute at the end, Peter Poole. And then Dog Pool. That dog. The dog's
Pool.
name in real life is Petunia. And I think she won one of the ugliest dogs in America contests. But she's such a sweetie pie dog pool baby. She is so adorable.
Some of the stupid, because there's the Deadpool Corps at the end, you know, was part of this big thing. There's a big battle, and there's a lot of Deadpools, so we've decided we're going to multiverse the hell out of it. And I mean, there were some real good cameos in there that you didn't even really know about, maybe if you weren't paying attention, because the skull pool that was floating around, Nathan Fillion's voice, another big nerd. Yes. Matthew McConaughey was Gunslinger Deadpool. You heard his voice.
Oh, okay.
Blake Lively was Lady Pool, his wife.
Yeah.
A couple of his kids were some of the Baby Pool and like Toddler Pool or something like that. You know, they were in there. I mean, there were some names, you know, just wanted to be part of this because it was such a great project. And Ryan Reynolds is kind of the new Midas. He is the Jon Favreau right now of Marvel. He's the one who touches things and they turn to gold, and everything he's touching turns to gold.
All of his movies.
Well,
okay, Pat, let me ask you this. Recent. The Deadpools, there was one that kind of looked like a lighted Jedi with a like kind of a lightsaber. Was that one in the comics, or is that just something that they had? And then there was a
I have not
kind of okay, say it again. Your voice went out.
Well, they've had medieval armor ones. They have all kinds of different ones. If you're getting the multiverse, you can do whatever you want. Even if it's never been in a comic, you can put a Tron pool, or you know, a Daft Punk pool. You know, a couple of them were like that kind of look. You know, and there was so many different. I mean, the big ones.
But those weren't from the comics that you know.
They might have been. I mean,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
You know, I mean, because that's what Marvel's done with several of these particular titles, like Spider-Man's another one where they have a lot of different Spider-Verse.
And they did that in Loki. That's probably it too. Remember the different Lokis?
Yep.
Including alligator Loki, which was my favorite.
And classic costume Loki. I mean, there's several. I mean, this is what they're doing because they have wisely made the decision that, look, we understand these actors can't play 20-somethings forever, and you can really see it during the end credits when they do all the flashbacks of all the movies that these guys have made.
I know.
And you saw Hugh Jackman when he was at the first X-Men, and you saw Patrick Stewart at that one too, and you know. These people.
Okay, but let's do a shout out to Hugh Jackman and that body yaddy in the scene when he rips his clothes off, and the lady is like, "Yeah, you fine." I was like, Hugh Jackman is 58. I think
he's upper
57 or 58. Kudos to my man for keeping it tight all these years. Tight and right.
He's 55.
55. Okay. So he's a little bit, he's in his prime. I mean, the body looks like a 35-year-old. So
well, that plus the fact that, you know, the guy's doing the nod to his musical career too was just a little. I mean, there were so many real quick side winks. If you weren't paying attention, you would miss.
I missed that. So I'm gonna have to, you have to go back and see it because it's not going to be on Disney Plus for a while.
It'll be a few minutes. Yeah, I mean, it's like so many different little side winks. Like I said, you know, they had a lot of the characters from the 20th Century Fox was where they were really pulling heavy from.
They really dogged them out.
Well, and they made fun of it too, but at the same time, they took that properties and they've made a great way to integrate it. And kudos again to Marvel for Disney for being smart enough to build this wonderful exit into it where they can keep these things going. Because the thing is, if you think about it, the X-Men comics came out in the 60s.
Yeah.
And it had Cyclops, Beast, Angel, Marvel Girl, Jean Grey, and which one am I forgetting? There's one more I'm forgetting. Iceman. They're still in the comics and they're still the same age. And it has been literally 50 years.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
how they do it. This is they found ways to do it in the comics, and now they found ways to do it with the movies, and that's smart because you know what, you can keep using because there's so many great stories out there that they just.
Well, you know,
the next one they're going towards the Secret Wars, which is going to be amazing. One of my favorite comic book runs.
I'm nervous about the Secret Wars. I'm hoping it's great. And
I'm just curious to find out who they're going to do the Beyonder. That's the thing.
Well, that's the kind of stuff you're like, well, how are they gonna do this, and how are they going to see? Because the movie does play like this is it. So I know a lot of time. I know Hugh Jackman when he said Logan, which is one of the movies I have never watched again.
Really?
Okay. I have never watched Logan again. It broke my heart, and I just can't bear to watch it again. I'm not watching that. And so, you know, he said that's it. And then he came
Ryan
back
Reynolds called him.
after, you know, 15 years or something, or 10 years or whatever. I mean, I guess he's popped up in all the movies kind of just as a cameo. But
yeah,
I don't know if I could see him doing a full-fledged movie like this again.
He is getting too old. I mean, the stuff he has to go through physically to hit that shape, I just can't. As someone who's a little bit older than that, I can't even begin to fathom it.
Yeah. And I mean, just regular, when you look at some other comic movies or superhero movies, when they have to get in that kind of shape, it's taxing. And so, you know, they don't keep it up. And one of the characters in the movie, I saw an interview with them and he was like, yeah, that was rough. But but they were able to do it. So I think that that goes to also, there's talk about them recasting Black Panther. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. But
that's one I would think they have problems doing.
I don't know.
The way he died and everything, you know.
I know
they would have a real problem with
there's
that.
talk about they're going to do another movie.
Well, it looks like they're going to do another Blade.
You know what?
I laugh myself silly about that.
So because this new one is falling, this is the second or third director they've lost. The cast has come off the rails, so it doesn't look like this Blade is coming. It's going to come.
Maybe Wesley Snipes was right, huh?
I don't know, but it is not looking good.
Let me tell you, the Channing Tatum cameo was amazing, by the way.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know I wanted him as the character until he did the character, and I was like,
they've been shipping, the fans have been shipping him for a long time. Oh my God, yes.
Oh, and because he is from New Orleans originally, I think.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
I'm not sure where he's from, but they've been shipping him for so long to be that character, and then to see him get it, that was a great nod. Plus, the Henry Cavill.
Who was Henry Cavill?
He was one of the Wolverine variants.
I didn't even know that.
Cavalroline is what they were calling him because it's a Wolverine, but it's one of the ones where he's like, he does a little shake off the shoulder thing when Deadpool's asking him to come help, and he's like, "You got the wrong guy."
Is he the one with the motorcycle?
I can't recall. I just remember seeing him talk to him, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's Henry Cavill!" I mean, like I said, I
didn't even notice it. Oh wow!
I mean, there's like I said, there was those, and you know, all the wonderful throwbacks to so many different comic book covers you got to see. I mean, man, this was like I said, this was one of the biggest fanboy gifts that you could ever see because I was digging, and I'm catching so many of these little things, you know, and I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Sherry falls asleep in the middle of it for a few minutes, but whatever, you know.
No.
She does in the movies. It happens. It was hilarious, but you know, this movie was just so chock full of great references. And if you pay
Yeah.
attention to the movies, and like I said, I had just rewatched everything, so I'm catching other crap that I wouldn't have caught. And I hadn't even rewatched the 20th Century Fox ones, which I can still, but you know, so
Oh
many
my
good bits.
gosh.
So many good bits.
Yeah. And I think that it's a real testament to Sean Levy, the director, Ryan Reynolds, and Hugh Jackman, that they really respected the fans, but it wasn't too much of a fan movie where it doesn't do the story justice.
Right.
You know
No,
what
the
I mean?
story,
So
it was organic. Yes.
it was a nice balance of, paying homage to the classics, but also with the Cassandra Nova character telling something new. I've never seen her or heard of her
Well,
before,
she
but
was part of
man,
the
I
Guardians
hope.
of the Galaxy.
Thank you. That's what I was getting ready to say. She would be amazing. But there's not going to be any more Guardians of the Galaxy. But I could.
Sure, it can.
Yeah, but I can't. That's one I can't imagine without.
Well, but the thing is, because in the actual comics, there's the Guardians of the Galaxy. Then they did the Asgardians of the Galaxy, which they took some I can't remember which one it was. One of the angels from Asgard goes off and forms a Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's based out of Asgard, and Cassandra Nova is part of that group.
Oh, okay, all right. She got herself together, so I'm glad.
She's the one they're always reining in, not killing. She was the rocket of that group. Trust me.
Oh my gosh, her power! Oh, and the graphics of her power. That was just amazing. That was just like, it's like. You could feel it, and it gave you the willies down your back, and I was like, that's so gross. But it was just so amazing. I've never seen something like that before.
I was a little disappointed at the end when Cassandra was trying to manipulate the time vortex, and Loki wasn't there. I was a little disappointed.
Yes.
He who remains. Yes.
Yes, that would have been. But you know what? They had to get rid of any taste of Jonathan Majors in the thing, which,
and that's what they're doing with Robert Downey Jr. That's what they're doing with him. They're trying to push him in because, I mean, he's stable. He's obviously can keep his mouth shut because he's done it all through these movies,
Oh, yeah. So, he's a complete professional, and the wife keeps him together. So I think that it was an interesting decision, but I get it. I mean, people like me who were heartbroken that he died in Endgame, were like, oh, I can't even watch Endgame anymore. So
I just rewatched it, yeah.
And I couldn't watch Spider-Man. Nowhere home, or the last one when he was really gone.
Home, yeah.
Oh, I couldn't even watch that one for years, and because it was just too heartbreaking to think of the Marvel universe without Tony Stark. So now that he is going to be a part of, the Fantastic Four, it's interesting because I think there were moments of him being the bad guy in
like Civil War. Civil War, he was the bad
guy.
Yeah.
Not Civil War, the one with the bad robot.
Avengers 2, Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. You got to see kind of how he would be if the guardrails were off and it was just all ego. And fear. And so I could see him being Dr. Doom. I like the first Dr. Doom in the original Fantastic Four movie. Terrible. The guy who was in that series, I forget his name, Julian something. He was great. So, and he's got that sly kind of, intelligent kind of humor that, or like essence that Robert Downey Jr. has. So I can see why I would have kind of liked to see another actor, but I get it. They gotta
Well, I am
save the
super excited
franchise.
for the Fantastic Four stuff coming out, because they've cast Galactus, so he's actually going to be in this, which he avoided all the other
Galactus
movies.
is? Oh wow!
Yes, he is. They got a name attached to that now, and the Silver Surfer is going to be it.
Who's Galactus?
Oh, I can't remember his name. It's somebody. It's from like one of the HBO shows. I want to say. I do like the fact of Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, I don't know if I like that choice. I don't know. I know Pedro Pascal. There's nothing to say anything about Pedro Pascal as the actor, because he's amazing. I just kind of watched some of him in Game of Thrones. Oh, amazing. I don't know about Reed Richards. I don't know. I had to see him do it, because right now on first blush, I'm kind of like, I don't know about that.
Ralph Ineson is the guy's name. Who's going to play Galactus? Ralph Ineson.
Oh,
and
he was in Game of Thrones, I think.
The Green Knight, the creator, Battle of Buster Scruggs. He's been in a couple different things. I've seen several of those, and they were good. And but Julia Garner as Shala Bal, the Silver Surfer.
Oh, it's going to be a female.
It is.
I would have thought she might have been Sue Storm, but
no, Sue Storm is Vanessa Kirby.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Joseph Quinn is going to be Johnny Storm, and Eben Moss Bacharach is Ben Grimm.
No, not him as Ben Grimm.
Yep.
Oh, see, I could have seen him maybe as Reed Richards.
Oh no.
I can't see Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I can.
That awkward nerdiness, I can see him playing that.
I don't know.
Just because he's too hot or what? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I am happy and excited about all the other choices. Like I said, instead of going with the more well-known Silver Surfer, Norrin Rod, they're going with Shala Bal, which is a different one, but a different herald of Galactus.
Right.
But if we get to see Galactus, man, I am stoked, because Galactus eats worlds. He's big, monstrous. It's going to be amazing.
You know who but he was something else. I would have loved to see Jeffrey Wright as Galactus. But I know he played something else in
the Watcher.
What If?
He did the Watcher. Well, another little stupid little fun thing out of the Wolverine movie was the Fantastic Car.
Oh,
you didn't see that? Oh
you can just pinpoint everything.
Well, I saw that when I come through, and I was like giggling to myself. I'm like, look, it's the actual Fantastic Car, the rounded one, not this weird futuristic one. Because I saw that when they did the announce for the actors and stuff, they had like a fake one come through, and stuff, and it looked too smooth. And this one was the rounded one that would go into 4 pieces like it's supposed to, in
the fight scene in the car was so in the woods. That was so hilarious. That was so funny to me.
And the thing is too about this, I don't know if you've seen any of the accompanying press things that they've done. Like I watched, and I generally don't like to watch just talk shows that they do or whatever, but apparently there's this one that they do. It's called Hot Ones, where they eat hot wings.
Yeah,
they get hotter and hotter and hotter. The one with, you should watch it. The one with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds getting interviewed by that guy. It is hilarious and delightful, because midway through they hit like one of the brands of hot sauce that Ryan Reynolds produces, and he kept going back. Well, this was really good. It's a little hot, but I really prefer this one, which you can get in most grocery stores, stuff like this. And it's just Ryan Reynolds doing Ryan Reynolds stuff, because he's that guy has got a smell for what's good. Bought Aviation Gym when it was cheap, sold it off at a crazy profit.
He's the first Marvel billionaire. He's a billionaire. So we don't have to do these little movies. unless he wants to.
He ain't got to do the proposal anymore. I'm just saying.
No.
Or Van Wilder, which was my first introduction to him, which was still delightful.
Oh, and there was a little nod to Van Wilder in the movie too.
Yes,
I
was.
caught, and I was like, "Oh, y'all are going for the deep cuts."
They were kicking out of the, like I said, the Greatest Showman, like music bit, and there for just to catch, you know, Hugh Jackman, throw him a bone for his musical work, because he's been making really good money doing that for quite a few years, because he can sing and dance. So I'm just saying.
Well, you know, you never know. There could be a Deadpool Wolverine like Broadway musical in the future.
Oh. Well, you know, in the books, the other person that Deadpool has a really weird fascination with is Spider-Man. So now we've got some other options to be bringing in another team up of Spider-Man and Deadpool. Will be a great one, because you got that innocent little kick against the crazy killer, you know, fourth wall breaking. Man, I just gotta tell you, it was just good all the way around that. And I can't wait to, like I said, Secret Wars, which is what they're building towards now. They decided to move away from the Kang Chronicles into the Secret War. And that's fine, because Quantumania was terrible.
I didn't want to see that anyway.
Quantumania was bust. I was not impressed. Even rewatching it, I was like, yeah, this is still a C movie, maybe. You know, Eternals was like a D. Ugh.
Really? I'd give it a C. But I hope they continue with like Moon Knight and what was that other show? There was another one that was really good.
Echo. There was
She-Hulk. Not Echo. No, that was trash.
There was there was Hawkeye.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll come back to Hawkeye.
Jeremy Renner's all kinds of jacked up after he got ran over by that snowplow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they'll come back to Hawkeye. He
may not be able to do that unless they recast it, which would be really weird.
Yeah,
but that's what they're going to do.
But they might do the girl,
the
daughter.
I'd like to see him do from Wakanda Forever, Ironheart, because that's a good storyline.
Unless they put it on the shelf, they are supposed to do Ironheart.
Well, there was talk about they bought the rights, and I don't know how that's going to put.
They cast the girl and everything, so I hope we'll Ironheart comes out, but you know, I don't know. I think they should focus on really good stories, and then from there work their way through the different.
I think the next one that comes out is New World Order with Captain America.
Yes, with, Captain America, New World Order.
Harrison Ford is Thunderbolt Ross, and Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that.
That was a perfect casting. I was like, yes, Thunderbolt and Indiana Jones. Will he bring his whip? That's the question.
He's going to turn to a big red Hulk and then make it that way. That'll be fun.
You know, I'm here for it. Well, we kind of talked it a long time, but we love it. We know you're going to love it. I know now, given Pat's all his information, I'm going to have to go watch it again. So, and I think you should too. And go see it in the theaters. And here's a hint. Tuesday night and Wednesday nights, if you don't like a lot of crowds, are a great time to see the movies. You can actually hear the conversations. And
Sunday mornings too.
Yeah, it will be, you can really enjoy it. So check out Deadpool and Wolverines in your local theaters. And we'll see you next time. Tomorrow, we'll see you Monday. We're going to do the finale of House of the Dragon. And we're going to also talk about Ungentlemanly Warfare, the new Guy Ritchie take on World War II. It's great.
Henry Cavill.
So definitely come check us out Monday, and we'll see you next time. Take care.